Let's talk about butter. It doesn't matter if you're carnivore, if you're keto, or if you're like me and you're just country. Butter, it's a part of almost every meal you're going to eat. I've grown up eating things like buttered toast, or putting butter in my eggs, or putting butter on a steak. But I've never done one thing with butter. That's make it. So that's what we're going to be doing today. We're going to make our own butter from some heavy whipping cream. I'm going to show you just how easy it is to have butter at your house without going to the store, as long as you already have heavy whipping cream. Let's go make it. I know what you're thinking. Why would I want to make butter at home? Why would I want to go through the trouble? Why wouldn't I just go to the store and buy butter? Well, I don't know. It just seems like something that's fun, and if you're wanting to make different kinds of butter as far as flavors or profiles, I feel like this is a good way to do it without having to worry about somebody that doesn't like that kind of butter getting a hold of it in the fridge. I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. I just want to do it because I've never done it before. But something that was interesting whenever I looked into this was that one serving of regular butter, now this is just supposedly a sweet cream butter, unsalted, is 100 calories for one serving, which is a tablespoon. Now, the only ingredients in this are pasteurized organic sweet cream, natural flavorings, and contains milk. The ingredients in this heavy whipping cream are heavy cream, milk. That's it. And 1 tablespoon serving of this is only 50 calories. I assume it's the difference in sweet cream and not sweet cream, salted, not salted, I don't know. But if you're wanting something that you don't have to have as many calories when you're eating, maybe make your own or buy something different. I don't know. 1 jug of this was $2.98, whereas something like this is going to run you usually around $4 to $5, depending on what brand you get. This is, I don't know what brand this is, in a mason jar. Now, one thing you're going to want to do whenever you're making your own butter at home is let your cream sit out for a little bit. You don't want super cold cream. If you have super cold cream, it's going to take longer for it to work. So I've had this sitting out for about 10 or 15 minutes. There's a science or something behind it. I read something like if it goes above 65 degrees, it's not going to work. And if it's below 60 degrees, it's going to take even longer. We're just going to go with it and see what happens. Now, this is a clean jar, clean lid, all that good stuff. The only thing we're going to do is take this and we're going to open it. Never been opened before. And we're only going to fill this jar up about halfway. You always want to make sure that you've got room for this thing to swirl around in there, because guess what? All we're going to be doing is shaking it. Luckily, I'm using a big enough mason jar where I think I can make the whole thing. Yeah. So we're just going to use the whole carton. We're going to go ahead, close the lid up. You want to make sure you're using the right lid too. You don't want to make a mess, because it could get messy. And then this is the most important part. You just start shaking it. That's it. You just start shaking it. This could go from anywhere from 5 minutes to 10 minutes. It just depends. It's going to go through a process where the milk or the cream ends up turning into what we consider whipping cream or whipped cream. It's probably not going to be as sweet because we're not adding any sugar, but that's where it's going to start. And you just keep shaking. Literally all there is to it. If you got kids, put them to work. Let them earn that dinner tonight. But you can already see it's starting to get frothy. We're just shaking. Now you can decide, the good thing about doing this is if you're deciding whether you're going to use salted or unsalted butter, this is where you would figure out that part. Once you start hearing it kind of thump around in there, you know you're getting pretty close. Fun fact that I didn't know until recently, this is actually how you get buttermilk. I literally thought buttermilk was just milk that you added butter to. I know, don't come at me. But turns out it's the byproduct of making butter. Who would have known? I mean, y'all remember shake weights? No? You know, all the memes? Yeah. It's kind of what I feel like right now. I feel like I'm in a shake weight commercial. I feel like I should play some music. Maybe I'll do the clock. Okay, maybe if you have a blender, I mean, there's no rules against using a blender. So let's take a look at it for a second. So it's getting really thick and creamy. We're getting close. My forearms. Yeah, I'm in my zone minutes. Get your heart rate up. It's a good thing. It's exercise. See? Burn calories while you're creating calories. Seems like a win-win to me. Look at how red my forearms are. This is a workout. Really. I needed it, you know? I didn't want it, but I got it. So see there? Here's what I'm talking about. It's almost like a meringue. This is more labor intensive than I expected. There's a blender right there. There's a blender right there. So now we're getting a really thick and creamy now that's a whipped cream texture. Making a mess. Oh yeah, I'm starting to thicken up. You can see now it's starting to set or starting to combine back together. Getting some air pockets in there. I should buy one of those butter churns. You know? Sometimes you just gotta take a break. Alright, so it's starting to separate from what's considered the buttermilk. Starting to hear it again. I'm gonna say we got butter. So, after you run a marathon, you're gonna wanna get you a strainer and a bowl. Now the reason you're gonna want this is because you're gonna wanna separate that milk from your butter. Now if you're going to be making biscuits or something like that, that right there's the good stuff. Alright, so as you can see, there's our butter inside of there. Let's go ahead and shake it a little bit more. So now at this point, you've drained all your buttermilk out. You've got your butter in there. We're going to go ahead and try to get it out of our jar. And as you can see, it's pretty pliable. We're going to go ahead and pat it dry as much as we can. Try to absorb whatever else is on there. Then we're going to take it and we're going to run it under cold water. So I'm going to do that. So rinsing it gets all the rest of that buttermilk off of there. I'm going to do that about 2 times. And while I'm rinsing it, I'm going ahead and squeezing it to try to get out as much of that buttermilk that's in there as I can. And you'll be able to see it on your hands. All right, so there you have it. In about 20 minutes, we went from a thing of heavy whipping cream to a little lob of butter. Now, if you wanted to, right here, you could decide whether or not you were going to add salt. Because I'm going to be doing other things and adding things to it later on next week, I'm not going to add anything to it. But what I am going to do is get a small thing of plastic wrap. I'm going to lay it out flat on our board here. I'm going to add our butter to the middle of it, and I'm going to go ahead and mold it and shape it. That way, when we put it in the fridge, we have somewhat of a resemblance of a stick of butter. That's it. That's how you make butter at home, guys. Pretty simple. It is a workout. I'm still running at 124 on my heart rate. My face is probably really red. My forearms are about to explode. So yeah, if you have a blender, use the resources you have. But I wanted to show you that you can do it without a blender. You can do it without electricity. You can do it at home however you want to. That's going to be it for today, guys. There you go. How to make butter. Super easy, super simple at least. Not so much easy, but super simple, and you can do it at your house and without having to go to the store. All right? I appreciate you for watching. Be sure to hit all the links, all the likes, all the subscribes, all that stuff, and down in the comments below, let me know what you think of my butter experiment. And be sure to tune in next week when we're using this butter on a very juicy, delicious steak. Y'all stick with me. We'll see what we can do. Thanks, guys. God bless.